everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2017 movie Thor Ragnarok. The movie is directed by Taika Waititi and written by Eric Pearson, Craig Kyle, and Christopher L. Yost. And in this movie, Thor finds out that there's havoc wreaking in the Nine Realms, so he goes back to Asgard to try to find out what's going on, and he finds out that his brother Loki is still alive, and that he's taken over the throne and banished Odin and everything. Odin is stuck on Earth and everything, and so Loki and Thor go to Earth to retrieve him and everything, so they can try to start putting everything in balance and everything. But Odin is in bad health and dies pretty soon afterwards. But before he dies, he warns them about Thor's sister that they didn't know about, Hela, who tends on wreaking havoc in all Nine Realms and taking over not just the Nine Realms but all of the cosmos as well. And she appears, and Loki and Thor get stuck on Sakaar, which is a jump planet ran by the Grandmaster, who likes having bets and stuff, and he has these gladiator style has these characters do gladiator style fights, and that's when Thor finds out that the Hulk is on this planet, and he has to have a big fight with him. And then eventually Bruce Banner comes out and comes back to form, and so between Banner and Hulk and their new friend Valkyrie and Loki, they hatch a plan to escape Sakaar and everything. And once they get off Sakaar, they go back to Asgard, where the final battle begins, and everything. They decide that they need to let Ragnarok happen and have Asgard destroyed in order to defeat Hela. This movie is really good. It's way different than the first two Thor movies, which I did like those movies quite a bit and everything. But this movie is like totally different from those two movies. Also, Jane Foster isn't in this. It's mentioned briefly that Thor and Jane had broke up and everything. He said that he broke up with her. But at first he said she broke up with him, and he said it was a mutual breaking up. So you kind of could tell that she broke up with him. He didn't really say why or anything, but so I'm glad that Jane Foster and Darcy were kind of left out of this movie, because they really didn't have anything in this movie that was needed. They weren't really needed to be in this or anything. But the cast in this, though, was great. Chris Hemsworth is excellent as Thor, and he's totally different than he's been in any of the previous MCU movies. He's like really witty and hilarious and everything. In the previous movies, he had little jokes and stuff, but most of them didn't really feel like they were trying to be that funny. He was trying to be straight-faced funny, and sometimes the jokes worked, but most of the time they didn't. But in this movie, he's just absolutely hilarious. And I gotta say, if there's anything that the 2016 Ghostbusters movie did that was good, was I think that I had heard, I don't know if this is true, but the people working on this movie were inspired to change Thor's character around to make him more funny and stuff after seeing Chris Hemsworth's performance in the Ghostbusters movie. Which I didn't like that movie, and I didn't really care too much for him in that movie, but I do think he was hilarious in this. and everything. And I think he fit he fit Thor even better now than he ever has. Tom Hiddleston's in this as Loki, and he's absolutely perfect too. The comedic timing between Thor and Loki throughout this movie is absolutely perfect and everything. And it's just he's still wonderful playing the character. Still one of the best casted characters in the MCU. Bruce Banner is once again played by Mark Ruffalo, and he does a really good job and everything. We see more of Hulk than Bruce, though, and the Hulk has changed a lot, too, since we had last seen him in Age of Ultron. He's starting to have more of a personality. He talks and stuff, because he'd been Hulk for 2 years between this film and Age of Ultron, so it was really cool getting to see a different side of the Hulk and everything, and I think Mark Ruffalo was great. They did a lot of good job with his comedic timing and stuff for this movie as well, and everything. Odin is once again played by Sir Anthony Hopkins. He's not in this movie very much, just a few brief scenes. It's more like an extended cameo. But he's not a huge part in this movie like he was the first two. He was a much bigger part in those two. But he does a good enough job in this movie. I don't think he was as good as he was in the last two, but doesn't have as much to do in this one either, though. So, and he does a good job playing him, making it look like he's really frail and weak and stuff. Cate Blanchett plays Hela, the main villain of this movie, and Thor's sister, and she is absolutely perfect in this role. She was, there were a few parts where she was a little bit funny, but she was mostly really kind of a sinister villain and everything, and she fit the role very, very well. Jeff Goldblum plays Grandmaster, and I think this was one of his best performances I've seen, which I haven't seen a lot of his movies, but he's just absolutely hilarious in this movie, and you could tell that he was having a really good time making this movie. I mean, if you watch this movie and then go and watch Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which came out a few months after this one, he looked like he was totally bored out of his mind making Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and everything, which was really sad seeing that he was in the first two Jurassic Park movies and seemed to be having a good time playing the character in those two, but he seemed like he was bored out of his mind while making that movie. In this movie, you could tell that he was having a blast playing the character, and I hope we get to see him again, maybe sometime in a future MCU movie. Tessa Thompson plays Valkyrie, and she's really awesome. She's funny and kicks a lot of butt too, but for the first part of this movie, once she gets in there, she's kind of this drunken person that's given up on life and everything, and everything. And she's really funny though. She has good comedic timing, and then by the end of the movie, she's kicking a lot of butt and everything, and she's really awesome. And her and Chris Hemsworth are working together on the new Men in Black International movie, so the chemistry between them two is great and everything. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Men in Black International because of the two of them. And Taika Waititi plays Korg, who is this rock creature. I can't remember what his species is called, but he just steals every scene he's in. He's absolutely hilarious. Almost every line he says is funny, and he's just a really, really likable character. You can't help but like him and everything. He's absolutely a great character. Kevin Feige has said that he'll be in more movies eventually, so I'm looking forward to seeing him some more and everything. It'd actually kind of be cool if maybe eventually he joins the Guardians of the Galaxy or something, but he's a very likable character and everything. The score by Mark Mothersbaugh, I think that's how you say his name, is really, really good. I think this is the best score in the Thor trilogy and one of the best scores in the MCU. It has so many different types of music throughout, feelings throughout the movie. At parts it feels like it's this dark, the dark movie, like this dark drama movie with some of the scenes with Hela, and then some of the scenes has this emotional sound when Thor is talking to Odin, and then there's like this really awesome sci-fi sound in some of the scenes. It's just really, really good score. The music just is really good in this. The cinematography by Javier Aguirre-Rojo. I butchered his name, but he did a really great job on the cinematography. I think it's easily some of the best in the MCU. And the editing by Josh Nagan and Zine Baker is really good. I think it's the best edited movie in the Thor movies, and one of the best edited movies in the MCU. The special effects in this are really good for the most part. There is a little bit of really bad CGI, but there was a lot more practical effects in this movie than there are in a lot of the MCU movies, so I was really impressed with that and everything. And the costumes and stuff looked really, really good in this, especially. And like some of the creature makeup they use on some of the characters that are on Sakaar is really, really good. So, but yeah, this is one of the best looking MCU movies as far as the special effects and stuff go, and everything. It's just a really fun ride. It's a total blast from the minute it begins to the very end of the movie. Kind of has the mid-credit scene kind of sets up the beginning of Infinity War and everything, and it's just a very, very well written movie. The characters are all really likable, and even Grandmaster, who's supposed to be kind of a villain, but he's still really likable because he has his weird Jeff Goldblum charm to him and everything, and you could tell everybody had a blast making this movie and everything. And I kind of hope that Chris Hemsworth will extend his contract with Marvel, so that either we'll get more Thor movies or we'll get to see him and some of these other characters more later down the line. And also, Idris Elba is great as Heimdall again, although Heimdall, like in the first two movies, is really underused. He does have a much more important and bigger role in this movie than he did in the other ones, it feels like. But he's really good and everything. And Carl Urban is in this. I can't remember his character's name, but at first he's wanting to join Hela and help her and everything, and then at the end he sacrifices himself to right his wrongs, and he has a pretty interesting character arc too. But yeah, this is a really fun movie, and I'd say I give it a 9.5 out of 10 because it's just a really great movie. It gets better every time I watch it and everything. So yeah, it's definitely a great movie. And anyway, if there's any top 10 lists, movie reviews, or movie series rankings you want me to do, let me know in the comments, and I'll get to them as quick as I can. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of Thor Ragnarok. Do you think it's the best in the Thor trilogy? Do you think it's the worst? Do you think it's one of the best MCU movies or not? Let me know what you think. And also, which tone did you like better? Do you like the tone in this movie better, or the more darker, serious tones of the first two movies? Personally, I like the tone in this one a lot more, but let me know in the comments what you think about that too. And thank you, and have a good day.